My name is Cassie Perry. I'm a mother, a sister, and a friend. And on my 39th birthday, I experienced a stroke. I've always been active. That continued throughout college, very active in my sorority. And right after college, I pursued my dream of becoming an Indianapolis Colts cheerleader. I think that my energy has been one of the biggest drivers for me to be involved in many different activities and kind of just always pressing the gas pedal forward. I became involved with Pure Barre, which is a ballet-based workout. I walked into my first class dealing with all the stresses of being a single parent and just really needing kind of an hour to myself. And from that point on, I knew it was going to be part of my life forever.
We've been together a little over 3 years now, engaged, just past our 2-year engagement anniversary from New Year's Eve. And both having single parent lifestyles, we had a lot to bond on, so to speak. I travel quite a bit for work, but knowing it was her 39th birthday, made sure my plans allowed me to stay in town that day, and had just put the kids to bed, and she was sitting on the couch to put on a show, and a few minutes into the show is when the symptoms kicked in.
It was unlike any migraine I had ever had before. And I sat up, and as soon as I did, I felt the numbness go all the way down my left side.
And as the time went on, her speech deteriorated as well.
And that's when I thought, this is bigger, this could be a stroke. And I think the real fear sets in when you have observed somebody else's story and it hits close to home. I had followed Tessa's story very closely as a fellow Colts cheerleader. I realized that she had done some work for the American Heart Association. And I think one of the things that I took away from her story was that you can't wait, that if you're listening to your body and something's really wrong, take care of it right away. And getting to the hospital was the first and only thing on my mind, as I knew time was of the essence. And if I hadn't have gotten there when I did, we may have had a different outcome altogether. I'll never, ever forget that moment, hearing the words, "It's confirmed, you've had a stroke." And in that 2-week period before I got to see the cardiologist, I experienced a second stroke, my biggest fear coming true. And I knew that was happening at the time because that morning I felt really off. And I spilled my breakfast. My hands felt very clumsy. I couldn't put a thought together. And I realized this is exactly what could be happening on a different level, on a different type of stroke. And that fear just came flooding in, going, oh my goodness, I may not have the outcome I just had 2 weeks ago.
The American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association have increased emphasis now on brain health. The link between heart and brain is becoming increasingly apparent. Those risk factors that lead to heart disease also can lead to stroke.
I really respect the American Heart Association for all they're doing for the general public to understand what these symptoms are and promote awareness.
We're also focused on social determinants of health. Did you know that your zip code determines how long you might live? Those neighborhoods with poor access to health care, with poor access to healthy foods, those people do not have healthy lifestyles and don't live as long. So the American Heart Association is helping by providing community gardens, by doing blood pressure checks, coming up with policies to reduce tobacco use.
Had I not maybe watched Tessa's story a few years back when she did the gala, I may not have known what to look for. I may not have been understanding how time is so crucial. And that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the American Heart Association, not only creating awareness, but creating these events so that we get out there and feel supported. Living today is, I'm so excited to be living. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not making sure that you have time to be physically active, to get a release emotionally, wherever that is and however you find it, then you can't be your best version for all the people in your life that need you.